Okay, so this is Castlevania 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you pick Castlevania 1.
Yeah.
And we've just done the first hour, which is basically taking us from the introductory story into it was kind of a pharmaceutical place, wasn't it? It's kind of funny because the pharmaceutical place was kind of almost in like modern times, and somewhere in there it's kind of sprung back to his castle, which I'm not actually sure if he's actually in his castle or if he's actually in some kind of figment of his imagination.
I think he's having like some sort of flashback.
Yeah, with the memories, fragmented memories, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he saw his son, and he rescued him from some forces, demony forces kind of thing, which seemed to be on his side and then get corrupted by this blood, and then suddenly they turn against him and try to take the kid.
Yeah.
So you rescued the kid, and then he gave you a gemstone, which when we triggered, has manifested this wolf, which is just here. I'm guessing the wolf's going to lead us somewhere.
I wonder if it is the boy.
Well, didn't explain why he's a wolf.
Spirit animal. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it could be, yeah.
I wonder if that is going to put us.
My prince.
I don't
The
know.
blood's following you through.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting.
Where are you taking me?
It's just where we were earlier, I think. So.
I'm back in the room.
Oh, right, back in the real world. Okay. Just quickly, what's...
Maybe there's like different, like you might have to find these around the map kind of thing, and you have to go in there to kind of get more.
Do you reckon that's going to take you back to where you were?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So you might have to traverse the real world using the castle and the other world, do you reckon?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Right.
Because we weren't here earlier, were we? Maybe we were. No, we weren't.
What do you say about the blood?
It's Dracula's corrupted blood or something.
Right. Right, okay. They refer to you as my lord.
Yeah.
I'm guessing when they said my prince, they were talking about the younger one, the young boy.
No, because you're like the Prince of Darkness kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's just to keep on referring to you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there might be something dark here. Hang on. Or is this like this way we were earlier? Oh, this way we were earlier. Remember, we were down here. The ladder and stuff.
Oh, right, yeah, we guess.
There's actually a box.
Box on the corner, isn't there?
Yeah.
Can you get to it? Looks like you have to go around the top bit somewhere. I wonder maybe, you say you had wings in the last one? Allow you to glide?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a glide, it was just like a double jump kind of thing.
Oh, that'll be what it is, isn't it?
in this.
When you get that skill later on, you've got to come back and double jump it.
Yeah, you might not even get it back. You might not even, because, well, as Gabriel you had it, but then when you kind of turn into Dracula, you might just not have them anymore. Because like the wings were like white, as in like an angel's wings, I think. But you're not really an angel anymore. So
okay.
And go over there. Alright.
Oh, okay. is that guy there? Oh, that's a health boost, is it?
Yeah, I haven't lost any health there, so I'm good.
So what's that there then? That thing to your right? That thing. Oh, it's going to be the ice. Oh.
Oh, as a rat, I think you can go in there.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to turn the ice into like something you could
Jump on,
traverse.
yeah, I thought you were gonna.
Quite like the rat thing, it's kind of quite cool.
Yeah.
I said this before, this game reminds me of the Soul Reaver series, the Legacy of Kain series. I really like the Soul Reaver stuff. Kind of mix between puzzles and fighting and...
I think we're still in kind of the tutorial bit, to be honest, if we're still kind of...
Oh, what's the trick is that? Ha! You said the rat's quite hard to control?
A bit, yeah.
Oh, there's different ones.
And if there's like something over here.
What is that thing?
It gives you like experience points.
Okay. Oh no, this is rat maze, isn't it? Is that, you got to fall through
Can't
that?
go through there, I don't think. And we can't go there. Oh, we can't go. Oh, we
That's
can't
the
go
other
through
side
there.
of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright. You do the other one then, up and to your right.
Yeah, I think that's the way you're meant to go.
Right, okay. Where we started?
I don't think so. There's another hatch over there. Looks like the entrance from earlier, isn't it?
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh. Oh, so sometimes it's on and sometimes it's not.
Right, I'm guessing you have to wait till it to stop.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Go.
There you go.
No.
Oh, what was that on?
Hang on. Hang about.
Now go.
Oh, well then. Oh, through the wire. It's an interesting mechanic. Now, where was he?
That guy?
Yeah, he was also behind that guy.
Yeah. I wonder if that's actually a human, because like obviously that massive thing isn't human.
No, he's like
So I wonder if that guy's actually a human, or unless it's like some sort of like Satan. I don't know. What I might have to do, I think I have to go back in here. Unless I can. No, I think I'll do it.
Did you get past him, that open door? The door open?
Maybe.
Check the door. The door's open, should we go straight past him?
Unless that guy stomps on me, but. Oh, the door's closed.
Oh, it's closed, okay.
I think I have to like distract them and then possess the guard or the mechanic or whatever. I quite like doing it all sneaky.
So which one you got? You use your bat skills or something, I don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Right. And then, alright, go on, possess him. Yeah.
Unless, wait, hang on. Unless I need to possess this
to get
dude.
the door, don't you?
Oh no, I can't match that, no.
So if you can get him around the corner, then you
Yeah.
can blow him up.
Oh, it's a close one, isn't it?
Yeah, just get around that white box.
If he does see me, I'm just gonna like run and get into the...
you just get there, you just about get there, yeah. You must have to put the bats on the technician then.
Yeah.
The technician. Yeah. The bats on the technician, and when he turns around.
But how that guy's going to still see me, isn't he?
He's going to look at him in a sec. He should do. Oh, come on.
Unless I possess him, kind of, and then kind of wait until I come back out, and then just go behind him.
Well, you know when you possessed him earlier on, the big
Yeah.
guy, you could actually come behind the technician, couldn't you? But when you
Yeah.
can get behind him while he's distracted, you get behind him now. No. Alright. Ouch.
Oh, dead.
It's obvious that some powerful follower of Satan is hiding behind all of these demons.
Alright, so if we...
I think we might have to go over here, possess this dude, and then wait until...
Oh, wait until he's not looking.
Unless I can somehow reach that level, I don't think I can. I can.
Oh, crikey.
No.
Beginning decontamination. Please do not move. Procedure terminated. Hatch opening.
Decontamination. That's a machine and a half, isn't it? Crikey.
I don't think these are the
There's some
humans.
yellow technicians there, and that person in a white coat is probably the person we're looking for.
Yeah.
Stay where you are. Something's wrong here. They are synthesizing a substance, a gas. They plan to release it into the atmosphere to infect the people. Tonight. There's something else. There is someone special here. Different from the others. Very, very powerful. I'm being sensed. I'm going to retreat. Be careful.
What's with all the smoking?
I don't know.
She looks very similar to that other guy. What's his name? The one who is... What's the Patrick Stewart playing?
What's she doing? My God, she's gone mad. We can't escape.
Her eye colour and cigarettes are the same as the other guy.
What, me?
No, you know the guy who kind of like he's Zoddy, I can't remember what his name, Zod something. So that
Oh, the guy who just took calling to me. Yeah.
the guy, the old guy,
Yeah.
same colour eyes and smokes. It's almost the same person. Or the same family.
No, I don't think so. She's a acolyte, I think. From Satan's.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so the reason why they're making gas is because they have to make havoc for Satan to come back.
Right.
Like chaos and necessity and stuff.
That's interesting. So it looks like the guys with the yellow, they're different monsters.
Yeah. I just whack into these guys, like.
Fucking doors, is it?
Yeah, but I can like charge into them though.
Do a parry, did you say?
Yeah. That.
Right, yeah, okay. sensitive is that trigger, that parry?
How hard?
As in, like, yeah, do you have to get it exactly the right time?
I think so.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well with it then.
Yeah. So I played the first game.
Yeah.
Just eat this guy by game. Oh no, I did it a bit early. And then he just die. Alright. Yeah, demon. Yeah.
Attractive.
Pretty powerful to like hold my sword.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can actually.
You need to capture her and bring her to me. We should be able to discern much from her regarding these acolytes and their plans.
I wonder if she knows it's me, because the idea is that, wasn't it?
If I had known you were coming, I would have made myself more presentable. Who are you and what do you want?
Which isn't there.
Oh, I see now why you're here. I'm gonna have such fun with you.
It's going to be interesting. Let's just read this out. Go ahead, just got this up again. So this is, was it Reza Volkova?
Yeah, so
The
you got.
director of the Biocritic Laboratory is an aggressive and scrupulous woman who is capable of hiding her true appearance from human eyes. Only the beasts of the night can see her for what she really is, a twisted reptilian creature that is intelligent as she is dangerous. During 10 long years dedicated to perfecting the demonic virus, she has kidnapped humans, experimented on them, and corrupted each of their cells to turn them into soldiers worthy of Satan. In battle, she can conduct electricity and move fiendishly fast, even beyond the scope of Dracula's vampiric perception. An extreme cold can stop her. Well, that's interesting.
My soul
and keep
also.
her. Oh, okay. Keep
Intact
her
for
mind
Zobek.
intact for Zobek, who wants to rip the secrets of Satan's acolytes from inside her. I promise it'll be short and sweet. So we have to freeze her somehow. I'm guessing that's what the water is on the floor, is it?
Over here.
Is that something freeze?
She's too good for you.
Slow her
Find a
down.
way to slow her down.
How do I?
Catch me if you can.
But,
Oh, you're good. I like a man who takes control. Looks like I'm gonna have to get my hands dirty with you. I promise it'll be short and sweet.
You can watch as well.
Let's make this more exciting.
she was electrifying the floor, is she?
You shot at bombs.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me warm.
How did you do the last time? You shoot something across the floor?
I don't need to do that now because she's not like really fast.
Right.
See on her health, she's got like a frozen bar, or she's like boss.
Right.
So
Right.
Like fight her
yeah.
normally now, like a boss.
If that boss goes, then she's gonna get.
Yeah, I have to like freeze her again.
Right. Okay.
Ow.
You make my blood boil. Go ahead and make me warm.
You're almost unfrozen. It's about to stop running. You feel it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make this more exciting.
Ow.
Give me a bit more time. Come on.
looking good. And one more hit, I reckon.
I missed. Okay. That wasn't so hard, actually.
Is she dead?
No. Only unconscious.
I'm opening a portal.
Cool. No welcoming party. I don't trust this geezer.
Well, I think he can't kill Satan on his own. That's why he's got me, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's just the fact that he smokes cigarettes like that last thing did, and his eyes are the same colour.
Well, he is Lord of Shadow.
Here's what?
He's a Lord of Shadow. So in the first game, lore. If you go to Zobek Society in Zobek, so
Zobek was together with Camilla and Cornell.
who are so basically they're the founders of Brotherhood of Light.
Okay, who answered the call of God, leaving their darkest being on the earth, the Lord of the Dead. However, despite his absolute mastery of necromantic,
He's like
romantic magic,
yeah.
could do nothing against the supremacy of Satan, and his existence was relegated to the kingdom of the lifeless. Exhausted and humiliated, he remained hidden for an era, watching over the world of men through his countless spies, ending his influence and preparing his return. When he learned that the power of Dracula had weakened enough, and that the arrival of Satan was near, Zobek materialized once again on Earth. He left behind the arrogance of his past to take on the role of the influential businessman, and he blended indirectly with society up to the present. Now he has a new plan, a perfect plan that will pit his two worst enemies against one another, leaving only one, Zobek, to become Lord of all, once and for all. So he's basically going to put you against Satan, and then he's going to try to kill you, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, because you want to die.
Oh, you want to die?
Yeah.
Why do you want to die?
So basically, you've kind of been like living in. So basically, the first game, you are a soldier that is kind of taken under the wing of the Brotherhood of Light, and they make you a warrior, and they name you Gabriel, and you're a Belmont, which is a kind of you're like it's like a kind of famous family, and your mission is to basically go and kill the three Lords of Shadow.
Right.
And one which is Cornell, and he is the lord of like these things called the Lycans.
Right.
And they're like werewolves basically, and wolves kind of thing. And he can turn into like this massive one. You kind of have to kill him. And then the next one you have to kill is Carmilla, who is the vampire queen, who she's in control of like Lord of, vampires.
Yeah.
And she can turn into like a massive vampire. And then you have Zobek, who deceived you, and you thought he was a knight like you. And he basically, he kind of put this mask on you, and he made you kill your wife, and then kind of took it off and made you forget, kind of thing. And the reason why Gabriel was so kind of wanting to kind of kill them all was he was promised that once he reunited this mask, which each one of them had a piece of this mask, once you reunited the mask, you could bring back the dead. But Zobek basically deceived him to kill Cornell and Camilla, so he could have like all power, kind of thing. But what Zobek didn't realise is that Satan was kind of deceiving him. And the reason why he had so much power was because Satan gave him a fraction of his and made him forget, kind of thing.
Right.
So it's like Zobek deceived you under the
deception
of Satan.
Right.
Yeah. And Satan then basically burns him, makes him, you know, humiliated,
Right.
turns him to the, what did it say? Something of like the forgotten kingdom of the lifeless. And you basically battle Satan, and you win with the power of God, kind of thing. And then as you killed, or as you have defeated the 3 Lords of Shadow, you then become them, kind of thing.
Right.
And yeah.
That's Nukem Dracula, the forever undead type of thing, is it? Or something like that kind of thing. So he wants to die. What, because does he think he's going to be reunited with his wife or something?
He wanted to die because, firstly, he wanted to become his wife. Also, like all the stuff that him becoming Dracula and stuff, he didn't want that to happen. He basically wanted to bring back his wife and be with his wife, kind of thing.
Right.
That was literally the only aim of his whole quest of the first game.
Right.
But then you can't bring back the dead, kind of thing. And he just turned out like he's now immortal, so he can never die and be with his wife.
Right.
What's interesting is that before all of this, you have like a little tutorial about how to, like, you know, press X and Y. You have a bit of story, and you have to fight this paladin soldier or something. Yes, paladin, who you fight, and, you know, you have to do, so, you know, basically you kind of whack him until his health's gone, and then he brings up his cross and he's up, you know, saying all these weird words, and Dracula's kind of saying, I was once like you until your god deceived me, and he kept on saying them, and then blue kind of magic went on this cross, and he was like, that's not going to do anything, puts his hand on it, and then says the words that he's saying, because he's kind of been there many centuries before, or many centuries, but before he was even born, kind of thing. And he says the words, and he's like, you know, he does it, kind of like has this massive explosion, kills all the knights around him, and then keeps on saying it, and the paladin stops, and he keeps on saying it, and then blows this guy up. And then you have this flaming cross in your hand. And basically, he's saying, I think there was a quote at the very end of this, but it was like, yeah, I was like you once, but your god showed me another path, Dracula. Yeah, so it's kind of showing that he is, yes, he's like demonic, but the power of God can't stop him because he is God's chosen. The reason he's there is because of God has made him there, kind of thing.
Right, that's interesting.
So it's like, he's not like yes, he's a vampire and he can like do kind of demonic stuff, but he's there because God put him there, kind of thing. God gave him the strength to be there.
That's where it says God showed him another path.
Yeah.
And that thing, that cross, that's the one that Matey Boy's got, isn't it? He's got sat there. He's gonna.
There was this guy called Gandolfi who made crosses for these Brotherhood soldiers that you were.
So they're not swords; they're just crosses.
They're just crosses.
Like magic things.
No. But there's like a massive. There's like a almost like there's a chain attached to it. You just like swing it. Kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of these kind of soldiers had. And there's a guy called Gandolfi or something like that, who made these weapons, and you would kind of, once you would kind of go around, if you saw a church, you could go in there and you could upgrade it and you would kind of make it, and it was called the Vampire Killer after you upgraded it with a stake. You killed the vampire people, kind of thing.
Right.
And that's what you hope will kill you. So that's why he wants to die, is because he can't be with his wife, and also he regrets what he did with his kid. He obviously didn't know that was his kid, but then he killed his kid, and then he gave him some of his blood, which made him come back to life. And then
he was deceived into killing his child, was he?
Yeah.
The same thing. The same with the mask thing.
Yeah. So the Brotherhood, it wasn't the mask though. It was, so the Brotherhood, basically. The Brotherhood sent Gabriel off on his quest, and then for some reason didn't tell him that he was going to turn into Dracula. It was all this prophecy. Didn't tell him he was going to be Dracula, and they told his wife after he left, and saying, his wife had a child and Gabriel didn't know, and or maybe it was a bit before they sent him off on his quest, because I'm pretty sure Gabriel killed his wife before going off on his quest. So I think just before the child was born, Brotherhood told his wife that we're going to send Gabriel on this quest, and he is this like God's kind of chosen. However, he's going to turn into this Prince of Darkness, Dracula kind of thing. And the only person who can ever defeat him is your son. So you must not, like his own blood kind of thing. So you cannot let Gabriel know. So he doesn't let her know. And then he turns into Trevor Belmont, which is the kid who turns into the wolf kind of thing. And
then he kills Dracula in a sense.
No, so he kind of gets trained by the
Brotherhood of Light. Yeah.
And while he's getting trained, Dracula's just kind of like really I think he's just really annoyed at God. And, I think he's like been killing people and stuff. And like taking over villages and burning them down with like his disciples of like demons and vampires and stuff. And Trevor then goes to kill him once he's fulfilled his training kind of thing. And
how old is Trevor at this point? Obviously, I guess he's not a child.
He's like a man. I think there's actually a whole game. I think the game actually came out after the Lords of Shadow.
All right.
So it was like Lords of Shadow something, whatever. I haven't played it, but yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you go and Trevor goes and try and kills Dracula. Fails miserably. As Dracula's Dracula, loads of power kind of thing, and each day gets more power. And whilst Dracula kind of gives him the final blow and he kind of bleeds out, he says that he's, Dracula's son. And then he gets really annoyed and just annoyed at the Brotherhood, and then he rages war, and then he gets beasts of like all kind of horrible like beasts and demons and stuff to rage a war against the Brotherhood of Light, and that's why they're not here now.
Right. There's not much light in the Brotherhood of Light, is there really? No. It's kind of quite dark and deceptive.
Yeah, I think it's because they kind of say it's a sacrifice for the greater good kind of thing.
Right.
It's kind of the same, isn't it? Like with armies now, isn't it? It's like generals will send their troops to do something that they cannot do kind of thing.
So it's never their children that go into war, is it? Yeah. Just come on to the Trevor thing. So Trevor then dies, and then Dracula
Trevor dies, and Dracula, to try and kind of bring him back to life, gives him some of his blood. Now he doesn't kind of come back to life straight away, so Dracula's like puts him in a grave and kind of
thinks he's dead,
yeah, and then rages war. Now then Trevor, I'm sure, whilst the war's going on, Trevor then comes back to life, all kind of like. He had brown hair, now he's got like blonde hair or maybe white hair, and he's got like yellow eyes like Dracula. Well, actually, no, Dracula's got red eyes, but he's got like yellow eyes. And
what, is he a vampire then?
He is now a vampire,
right.
Yeah. But what Trevor doesn't know is that his son is training in the mountains somewhere.
Well, Trevor's had a son.
Trevor's got a son, yeah. And Trevor's son, I don't know, it's like Sam Belmont, or I don't know, Simon Belmont or something.
Which game is this happening in?
This is just between the Lords of Shadow 1 and 2.
Right.
And
how do you know this then? Is there a game between these two?
There was a cutscene between at the very beginning.
Right, crikey. Right, okay.
So, I've only played the first one, and now I'm playing this one, but I think there was a game at the
between the two.
Yeah, between, what kind of happens.
So do you know what kind of time period we're talking between the first game and the second game? As in, like, in the story, what kind of time we're talking about? It's like 50 years or 5 years or something?
The first one's like 1017, starts there.
Right.
This is now like 2014.
Right.
But Dracula, so Simon Belmont is training in the mountains, and he is told by the Brotherhood of Light, basically, all the Brotherhood's trying to do is that all their soldiers and all their cries to God and prayers can't beat Dracula, because they don't obviously know that God wants Dracula to be there.
Right.
So all they're trying to do is get Dracula's blood to try and go and kill him, kind of thing.
Right.
But a human can't kill Dracula on his own, kind of thing. So you got Trevor Belmont being resurrected, and you got his son, who he doesn't know is his son, is in the mountains, trained by these kind of warriors. And Simon Belmont believes that his mum got taken by Dracula's forces, which was true, and that his father, who is Trevor, got killed by Dracula in a fight, which is also true, but he got resurrected. So once he's like a man, he's got this like axe kind of thing, he then goes to go and kill Dracula, and he bumps into Trevor, who they don't know they're related, but they just kind of join forces and go into the castle and go and try and kill Dracula. And as they are both kind of bonded, and one's a vampire and one's very well trained, they kill all the kind of forces in the castle and then kill Dracula.
This is all in the cutscene?
Well, it's kind of like, I'm guessing it's the story from the first one to the second game to this game.
Right, okay.
Or maybe it's not maybe it's not the this is the second game of the Lords of Shadow, but there's like a Lords of Shadow whatever, kind of like, it's basically a sequel to the first one. And once you die, you are kind of, as you're immortal, you are kind of, you kind of die, but you kind of get you can't just wake up kind of thing. And at the beginning of the game, you are like this old guy, which you saw, you know.
So we saw, yeah, it's like a husk of what he was,
Palpatine, but with like taller.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And about 1,000 years have passed, do you reckon?
Yeah, 1,000 years have passed. And that's where we are now kind of thing. And so in that time, you know, you're in this city and you're in this cathedral, and I think this is like the only remaining bit of your castle, but this whole city's been built up on the foundations of your castle.
Right.
And Zobek tells you that Satan's acolytes are around and they want to wreak havoc so Satan can come back on Earth. And the reason why he wants to be here is because he wants to kind of get back to Dracula, who was Gabriel when he defeated Satan, but wants to get back at him because he kind of banished him for 1,000 years kind of thing. So right now you're basically trying to stop them and also gain power, so if he does come back, you can kind of like try and, you know, banish him again. And then if you banish him again or kill Satan, then Zobek will then kill you. And that's when it was saying that Zobek's basically going to, you know, kill two birds with one stone kind of thing, because then he will be the Lord of Shadow, and he is like the Lord of Death. So he's pretty powerful, obviously nowhere near as powerful as Satan, and that's why he needs your help.
Yeah.
And that's where we are now kind of thing. So we have just gone to there.
Just come back to the portal, haven't we?
Come back with the portal, yeah.
Okay.
And we are... So the whole point of that was because there was a disturbance or something.
Yeah.
We had to go and see what it was, and it was that person. They were making gas to try and wreak havoc, to bring back Satan kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's loads of acolytes, and that was one of Satan's main acolytes.